Hello there everyone, it is Dylan and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about one of my favorite people in the world, Tiffany Young. If for some reason you're not familiar with Tiffany yet, then get ready because you're about to be, and your life is going to be better because of it. You're welcome. We're going to be breaking everything down. Her career as a member of Girls' Generation, her career as a K-pop solo artist, and most recently, her career as her own artist not tied to K-pop. We are in a brand new era of Tiffany. Even though she's been making music for more than 10 years now, for the first time, she's making music her way and on her own terms. The name itself, Tiffany Young, that's even new. That's a new name for this new era. But now we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, so let's start off with the basics. This is what you need to know about Tiffany the person. Tiffany made her debut in music as a member of Girls' Generation in August of 2007. Her stage name was simply Tiffany, which she chose because there was already an active Stephanie, her birth name, signed as an artist under the same company, SM Entertainment. As one of only 2 members who could speak English fluently, Tiffany was a fan favorite among international fans from the very beginning. Before making her debut, she was born and raised in sunny California. At the ripe age of 15, she auditioned for SM Entertainment and nailed it, so much so that just a few weeks later, she left everything she knew and moved her multi-talented ass out to South Korea. She signed to SM Entertainment and started training right away in the hopes of following her dreams to become a pop singer. I wonder if 15-year-old Tiffany had any idea the massive amount of sacrifice and the massive amount of success that was ahead of her. We're born to win, better tell all your friends, 'cause we get it in. You know the girls, bring the boys out. As a member of Girls' Generation, she's known in particular for her bubbly personality, iconic eye smile, powerful voice, and for me, personally, being able to pull off literally every hairstyle on this goddamn planet. She's also been appointed the position of band manager by the fans, as she likes to be involved in the creative process as much as possible, whether that's the concept, the fashion, or even the music. She's always as involved as she's allowed to be. Her official position in Girls' Generation is that of a main vocalist, but she's versatile and is often given rap segments as well. In fact, that's how I would describe her voice in general. Versatile. Or is it versatile? I've heard it both ways. Either way, she's that. She has range and is particularly good at expressing her personality and emotion through her vocals. Her personal musical inspirations range from Boa and Britney Spears to Mariah Carey and Destiny's Child.
Crazy. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Crazy in Love by Beyonce. Real? I'm real, the way you walk, the way you talk. I'm Real by J-Lo and Ja Rule. Sweet. But it's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby. Fantasy by Mariah Carey.
She is a kid of the 90s and her taste definitely reflects that. She's gone out of her way to show support and appreciation for her LGBTQ fans, penning a love letter to said community last June.
Young wrote, "Throughout my career as a Korean American living between Korea and the US, there have been times where I felt culturally misunderstood, lost, and alone. The focus on self-love, unconditional love, acceptance, freedom of expression, and hope are a few of the uplifting themes the LGBTQ community have continuously inspired me with." She continued, "I write this letter to send you words of love and encouragement. You are unstoppable. I stand by you and celebrate you, not only on this day, but every day."
She's always been a gay icon, but since then she's like become the gay icon. Lastly, despite how many loyal and passionate fans of Girls' Generation there are, the biggest fan of the group, in fact, is Miss Tiffany Young.
My bandmates are my bandmates. My girls are my girls. Girls' Generation forever.
Now that you know a little bit more about the girl, let's move on to the career. So far, Tiffany has released 6 full-length Korean albums, 4 Korean mini-albums, and 3 full-length Japanese albums with her bandmates Girls' Generation. But she made her solo debut in 2016 with her Korean mini-album, I Just Wanna Dance. And shortly after, she released the Korean single Heartbreak Hotel. She has also released 3 Korean mini-albums as a member of TTS, a subunit of Girls' Generation. It wasn't until 2018 that she made her debut as Tiffany Young. Free from any control SM Entertainment had in the past, she released 2 singles, Over My Skin,
I want you over my skin, 'cause I like the way
teach you.
Didn't your mother teach you not to play with fire? Caught you red-handed, should have been a better liar.
As well as a special holiday song called Peppermint.
Red, green, you've been waiting to unwrap me. In your arms is where I'm happy. Underneath these eyes, so red, green.
On January 25th of this year, she released her latest single, Born Again.
Your love is like a higher power. I'm born again.
The song musically is unlike anything she's done before. It might be closest to Heartbreak Hotel in terms of sound, but the lyrics are incredibly personal and the vocal production is kind of insane, but I kind of love it for that.
Every time that I come, I feel away again. Feels like the first time when you love me naked. I'm born again.
Born Again is the first single from her upcoming EP, Lips on Lips, which will be officially released February 22nd. It is coming up so fast, I can't even believe it. And she most recently released the title track from her EP, Lips on Lips, this past Valentine's Day.
Lips on my lips, when you touch it like this, no they don't at all. These lips on lips, they go like this, they go. These lips on lips, they go like this, they go. These lips on lips, they go like this.
After the release of the EP, she will be embarking on the Lips and Lips tour in the United States. And real quick, just as a fan, the fact that she's gone blonde for this new era really lets me know that she is coming for blood, and this EP is going to be fantastic. I know it just based on the color of her hair. Outside of music, she's also a successful model and host. She hosted the show Music Core from 2009 to 2012 with fellow Girls' Generation member Yuri, and then hosted again throughout 2013 with fellow TTS members Taeyeon and Sohyun. She has expressed an interest in acting in the United States and recently went to school to study exactly that. And if all that wasn't enough, she also has experience in the theater, darling, portraying Carmen Diaz in Fame throughout 2012 and 2013. Needless to say, she's been incredibly successful and has worked incredibly hard for that success, and by the looks of it, she doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon. Next up, let's talk about the celebrity life of Tiffany Young. We all know that choosing a career in the popular arts really does open your personal life up to scrutiny from the public. And while for the vast majority of her time in the public eye, Tiffany has really been admired for her talents as well as her positive personality, the Korean public tends to hold celebrities to an almost godlike standard. So when mistakes were made, she was met with very harsh criticism, to say the least. Girls' Generation has had their own struggles as a group, but Tiffany has also had to endure some hard times in the public herself, separate from the group. But she's never let those times stop her from continuing to follow her dreams and performing to the best of her ability. If you know, you know, and if you don't, in this video I will just say that I think most of us can agree that in 2016, Tiffany was the subject of a lot of unwarranted hate, and I think we can also agree that she handled herself with dignity and grace in that time, which cannot be said for a lot of those who are criticizing her. Since her time as a solo artist in the United States, she has given us so much content, and it's all been in English. Even though Tiffany has always been able to speak English fluently, she has always been promoting projects in either Korea or Japan, very rarely in the US or other English-speaking territories. But for the past year, everything from her has been in English. We haven't had to wait for what feels like years for someone smarter than the rest of us to translate what she's saying. Thanks, Stella. It's been great. This past year, she has appeared on BuzzFeed, The Zach Sang Show, Elle Magazine, Allure Magazine, Billboard, iHeartRadio, Build Series, Verified by Genius, Hollywire, Fox 11 LA, Ask Anything Chat, MTV, Young Hollywood, various radio shows, as well as her own YouTube channel. This girl has been working, and I think maybe because this is the first time she's doing everything on her own terms, but she seems so happy for these promotions. She just seems like she's in a great place and enjoying every moment. And now that we've talked about the person, the career, and the celebrity life of Tiffany, I think it's time we talk about The legacy of Tiffany Young. I think the story of Tiffany Young is a very unique and special one. There's not many artists that can relate to her story, leaving everything she's known in the US by herself at such a young age and debuting with a Korean pop group that would go on to be called the nation's girl group and conquer not only Korea but Japan as well, only to return to the US and seemingly start all over again, but luckily with a loyal fan base already established. Her life has been quite extraordinary, and I think she has a story to tell. Not only am I excited for music written by her, which we know is coming, but I would even be interested in maybe her writing a memoir. I'd read that, and I don't read. The last book I read was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and that was at least 10 years ago. But I'd be willing to read what this girl has to say cover to cover. She's only 29, which is typically not long enough for a juicy life story, but like I said, Tiffany Young has such an interesting life, and if she ever decides to tell her story in full, I'll be the first one to receive it, however she wants to sell it to me. She can sell me a book, she can sell me a documentary, or even just sell me really personal songs that spill all the tea. Doesn't matter to me, as long as she's selling, I'm buying. In conclusion, Tiffany Young is that bitch. At 29, she's already had success that most only dream of, so everything going forward is really just the cherry on top, bitch. If you yourself were new to Tiffany, then I am very happy to have introduced her to you. You're welcome. And if you are already a huge fan of her like I am, I hope you enjoyed this brief overview of her career. And if you're Tiffany, if you are Tiffany Young listening to my words, because I know that you go out, I know you look at the fan stuff, then I want you to listen very carefully. I love you, girl, and I can't wait to see you on tour in March. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye, bitch. Oh, but like real quick, if you are Tiffany, I wasn't calling you a bitch. That's just how I end all my videos. I call my viewers a bitch because we're all bitches, especially in comparison to you. Like, we just don't compare, including myself. So I just wanted to make that clear in case it wasn't clear. Okay, bye.